Hello everyone, I'm Claire Marie B and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through my April bullet journal setup. My theme for this month is April showers, so I'm doing some umbrellas and raindrops. I wanted to keep it quite simple, colourful and spring-like as much as you can when you're drawing rain. First of all, I'm drawing my umbrellas across the page. These were sketched out freehand, doing a semicircle, and then I decided to do 3 curves and have the brolly handle down the middle of the third curve. So that was how I ended up being able to lay it out. I then drew from the middle point of the semicircle 2 straight lines down to the top of those curves, and then once I'd done that, I then bent the lines further round to make it more of the curve of the umbrella. My lettering for this month is my standard print letter that I have. It's just an alphabet that I kind of created. I saw bits and pieces from elsewhere, and when I was practicing, it just kind of fell into place with my handwriting. So I do this one every now and again, or I'll then have my bouncy writing. But I usually mix between this and bouncy writing across every monthly spread in some way, shape or form. I do really like doing spreads like this. I enjoy the creative process. I love the colouring in, and I think it kind of suits my style of art. I know sometimes it's a little more basic, but I'm much happier doing things like this than incredibly intricate art pieces. I think there's absolutely a space for those. I think I just get, I like the process of creating to be quicker. So if I had to spend hours and hours and hours on one piece, I'd feel really accomplished at the end of that, but I wouldn't enjoy it as much as doing this. And my journaling is more about the productivity side, and that's why I do it. I like the creation. I enjoy the art process and the creative process, but ultimately it's something that looks good, that I find fun, but helps me productively. So that's why I tend to stick to designs that are more like this. Once I'd finished the raindrops and the umbrellas, I felt that the page was still a little bit blank, so I've added some extra circles, some stars, some bits and pieces, and I really feel that filled the space a lot more. So I think I'm going to focus on the next month having a bit of a task of coming up with more of those little intricate things that will fill a space and make it look better. I decided to have a quote page this month. I couldn't resist. I had to do April showers bring May flowers. I'm so looking forward to the flowers in May. I really do enjoy that time of year and seeing all the flowers in bloom. For this, I've started out by, again, penciling out my lettering, and then I'm using a size 12 Pigma Micron black ink pen to go over the top of that. I've put April inside a little umbrella as well to keep the theme cohesive. Once I'd written this out, I felt that the lettering, it was still too thin or too fine, the actual... Thanks for that there, my little dog having a sigh. I felt that the lettering needed to be a bit thicker, a bit stronger. So I'm going back over it and just thickening out those lines a little more. And I think you'll agree that it does pop a bit more. I didn't really have any plan as I started doing this around how would I bring some colour or decoration or bring more of the theme in. But as soon as I'd written it out, I realised it really did need more colour than what was there. So first of all, I'm adding some washi tapes for decoration. Then I decided to colour in the brolly with the April in it and have that as one flat colour rather than splitting that of 3 colours. I then decided to add the raindrops. The raindrops, incidentally, are in my favourite shade of blue of my Tombow set. So any excuse to use that pen, I love. I can't actually tell you what number it is anymore because I've used it so much. It's eroded the actual number on the side, so I don't know what I would do to try and replace it. But I think I need to get looking on the Tombow website and order a bunch of different blues so that I can identify which colour it is. See, this is where I should have done swatches before, shouldn't I? So there's a lesson to myself. Okay, so that's the cover page done. Now we're moving on to the calendar spread. Of course, I've done it. I couldn't resist it. I've done little umbrellas for my calendar. I used to find my calendar quite dull and boring, and I really focused on it for some time, and I love doing this now. I really like to use an alternate shape. So I've obviously had pumpkins. Last year we had apples. I'll do love hearts. I really like the challenge of trying to make the little calendar boxes something that's relevant. And when I can, if it doesn't fit a theme, I'll then do them square boxes, but again use all the colour, and I'm just loving doing that at the moment. I had to change the overall size. Usually my calendar boxes are 5 squares by 5 squares, but with an umbrella, we could argue that these ended up looking a little bit like Pac-Man ghosts. However, we're still going with brollies, everyone. An umbrella obviously isn't square, so doing 5 by 5 wouldn't have worked in this instance, so I needed to expand it to 6 by 5. That meant I needed to pinch a little bit of extra space than what I would usually do in my layouts. So there's no border on this page because I had to go right up to the edge. And I do like a border, so I feel like that's what's missing on this. But overall, I'm happy with having the umbrellas or brollies as the little boxes. I think it's pretty cute and really ties in nicely with the theme. And now we're moving on to my productive spreads. So this is where I'm capturing most of my to-dos. I'm having a content planner. I've also got a notes page around my little side hustle and things like that. So it keeps me focused for the month around what are my goals, what do I really need to complete this month, how do I keep things moving forwards. I can't remember where I read it, but somebody had said to me, the minute you start measuring something, you will absolutely then see a difference in a positive way to whatever it is that you're measuring. And that's because the focus, what you're trying to analyse, becomes so pronounced, I guess, and therefore you're going to be consciously thinking about it and taking steps in a positive direction. So that's my intent with these 2 spreads, is to keep that focus there. Whilst I've had my content planner the last 2 months, I've really neglected this, and I'm sorry I haven't put out more videos. I've recorded some extra things that I want to share with all of you, and I will do. I've just been super busy as I started a new job. I've had to put my journaling slightly more on pause than I usually would do. And now we're on to my final spread, which is the April review. I enjoy a little bit of self-reflection, but not over-analytical in that sense. And I think that this April review for me is just enough to shift the dial without it becoming too cumbersome. I really like being able to add in a little bit of theme from the month as well on this and brighten up the page. But yeah, I'm really happy with the boxes. I know it'll reach a point and then I'll need to evolve this a little bit more. But at the moment, this is something that I want to keep doing, and I'm enjoying doing this more than the memory spread that I had. I just have to remember to do it and get myself in a routine and a rhythm of when am I completing this. And I think completing it partially throughout the month and remembering to do that is a good idea than leaving everything until the last minute. And there's my setup complete. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please hit like and subscribe and turn on those notifications so that you're told when I release future content. I hope you have a fantastic April. Catch you in my next video. Bye.